Hi, my name is Sarah.
Hi, I'm Shane.
I love problem solving. Once I was helping a non-profit organization. As I studied their operation, there is only one word I can describe: chaos.
What do you mean by chaos?
After consulting with the key stakeholder, I introduced a template that I had designed myself into the organization. Guess what? The organization used my template and all the chaos become peace and harmony. Everything is transparent and in order now. That took me a lot of satisfaction, Shane.
Wow. Hi, I'm Shane. I love to connect with people.
I think she's more like kacau people.
Wait, I'm not as serious as you know. Seriously, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm as serious.
When I was a sales manager in an MNC property developer, there was an incident I still remember. The client just left after my staff presented the product. And you know what happened? He cannot handle the objection had by the prospect that resulted in him losing that sale that day.
I'm sure you helped him, right?
I coached him on the closing technique, and wow, my gosh, he used my technique and presented the solution to the client, and he actually sell it.
Wow, fantastic, Shane.
Wow, I cannot forget the smile on his face when he come and thank me for showing him that technique.
Good job, Shane.
Thank you, Sarah. I met Sarah in the same company before. So she was this studious girl working in a tall cubicle, crunching numbers for the company. I still remember that, Sarah.
And you know what? Shane always come and kacau me during my busiest hour.
Really?
Yeah, she was very, very playful.
Okay.
16 years later, we came together again because of a common goal: to make business easy for business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yes, Seriously Play is a platform to learn practical related skills in a light and fun manner. So, welcome to Seriously
Play! Hi, my name is Sarah.
Hi, I'm Shane.
I love problem solving. Once I was helping a non-profit organization. As I studied their operation, there is only one word I can describe: chaos.
What do you mean by chaos?
After consulting with the key stakeholder, I introduced a template that I had designed myself into the organization. Guess what? The organization used my template and all the chaos become peace and harmony. Everything is transparent and in order now. That took me a lot of satisfaction, Shane.
Wow. Hi, I'm Shane. I love to connect with people.
I think she's more like kacau people.
Wait, I'm not as serious as you know. Seriously, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm as serious.
When I was a sales manager in an MNC property developer, there was an incident I still remember. The client just left after my staff presented the product. And you know what happened? He cannot handle the objection had by the prospect that resulted in him losing that sale that day.
I'm sure you helped him, right?
I coached him on the closing technique, and wow, my gosh, he used my technique and presented the solution to the client, and he actually sell it.
Wow, fantastic, Shane.
Wow, I cannot forget the smile on his face when he come and thank me for showing him that technique.
Good job, Shane.
Thank you, Sarah. I met Sarah in the same company before. So she was this studious girl working in a tall cubicle, crunching numbers for the company. I still remember that, Sarah.
And you know what? Shane always come and kacau me during my busiest hour.
Really?
Yeah, she was very, very playful.
Okay.
16 years later, we came together again because of a common goal: to make business easy for business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yes, Seriously Play is a platform to learn practical related skills in a light and fun manner. So, welcome to Seriously
Play! Hi, my name is Sarah.
Hi, I'm Shane.
I love problem solving. Once I was helping a non-profit organization. As I study their operation, there is only one word I can describe: chaos.
What do you mean by chaos?
You know, after consulting with the key stakeholder, I introduced a template that I have designed myself into the organization. Guess what? The organization used my template and all the chaos become peace, and harmony. Everything is transparent and in order now. That took me a lot of satisfaction, Shane.
Wow. Hi, I'm Shane. I love to connect with people.
I think she's more like kacau people.
Wait, I'm not as serious as you know. Seriously, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm very serious.
When I was a sales manager in an MNC property developer, there was an incident I still remember. The client just left after my staff presented the product. And you know what happened? He cannot handle the objection had by the prospect that resulted in him losing that sale that day.
I'm sure you help him, right?
I coached him on the closing technique, and wow, my gosh, he used my technique and presented the solution to the client, and he actually sell it.
Wow, fantastic, Shane.
Wow, I cannot forget the smile on his face when he come and thank me for showing him that technique.
Good job, Shane.
Thank you, Sarah. I met Sarah in the same company before. So she was this studious girl working in a tall cubicle, but crunching numbers for the company. I still remember that, Sarah.
And you know what? Shane always come and kacau me during my busiest hour.
Really?
Yeah, she was very, very playful.
Okay.
16 years later, we came together again because of a common goal: to make business easy for business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yes, Seriously Play is a platform to learn practical related skills in a light and fun manner. So, welcome to Seriously
Play!
Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, good.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, is it my audio?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. So shall we wait for another few minutes? Because seems like the participants is not full yet. Yeah, so hi Jonathan. Is it if I address your name correctly? Yeah, so today our webinar topic is revolve around our Form EA 101. So before we start our webinar, we just have some friendly reminders because we really have a lot of information to share with you. So our normal duration for our webinar is 1 hour, but now we shifted it to 1.5 hours. So yeah, so bear with us. And if you have anything after 1 p.m., just leave it because we have our Facebook Live. So you can definitely watch back the recordings. Yeah. And yeah, so we will be discussing the common mistake of the employers that they usually make during submitting the Form EA, and as well as the key blind spot in preparing the form so that you can save your thousands of ringgits. And yeah, I will pass it to Sarah to start the webinar today.
Okay, before we start, let me share screen. Is it clear, the screen? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Yanting, for the brief introduction. Okay, welcome back to our Seriously Play webinar. This is the first sessions, and today I'm going to conduct in English because I thought that we will have some non-Chinese participants, but unfortunately, he's not in yet. But never mind, we will continue. So for those who are not in yet, they can always play back our Seriously Play live in our Facebook later on. Okay, CSC Play basically is a platform that we want to combine our business skill, be it technical and also soft skill in this platform. So we have been conducting free webinars in last year. Okay, for those who know me, my name is Sarah. I'm the speaker for today. And they all call me Seriously Sarah because I always talk the serious topic. Okay, so today's topic is also quite serious because we want to save thousands of dollars, and we want to avoid that IRB chase after us. So without further ado, I would like to start. Okay, please join our LinkedIn page. Okay, follow our LinkedIn, and also you can subscribe to our Telegram channel to get more up-to-date information. Yeah. All right. So today topics, I will be focusing on EA form. Okay. Now, before that, for those who know me and attended my past webinar, they basically know my name is Sarah. So for those who attended for the first time, let me briefly introduce myself. I'm actually a chartered accountant. Okay, I'm a member of MIA, a fellow membership of ACCA, and also an affiliate member of MISA, MBN, and I'm also a licensed GST agent. So I'm having 20 years of experience in accounts, finance, and taxation. So I have helped plenty of clients. Those are listed here that some I helped before, or even to the extent that I have clients like a law firm, oil and gas companies, cake shop, and all that. So then there is many more lah. But today this is not about me, right? So today is we come here. I want to learn some tips or a blind spot that we should avoid when preparing the Form EA. Okay. Now, before that, I should make some disclaimer here. The information contained in this slide may not be up to date. You have to check when you use the information. You have to always check the IRB website to get the most up-to-date information. So I strongly encourage you guys to subscribe our Telegram or like our Facebook page or follow our LinkedIn to get the most up-to-date information. All right. So any issue for the time being? Okay, if no, I shall continue, yeah? So how to get IRB off our back? Okay, so today we'll be discussing EA form. Okay, I'm not too sure how many of you know what is this EA form all about. If you know about it, can I have type in the chat box, 111? Okay, so and everyone also know what is EA form. Okay, but EA form, basically you must know what to disclose and what not to disclose. Not just knowing EA form, you must also know what to be disclosed and what not to disclose. So the deadline, I will be also discussing the deadline and the penalties involved for not submitting EA form, and perquisites that is exempted and those are being taxed. So today topics I more focus on perquisite instead of benefit in kind or value of accommodation and all that stuff. Yeah. All right, this is a very serious topic. Are you guys ready for today's topic? So it will be 1 hour, like what Yanting mentioned. I will be overrun time to 1.5 or maybe more. So are you guys ready? Is ready? Give me a AAA. Okay, look like everyone is ready, yeah? Right. So I hope this is an interactive section. Please feel free to type in your comments or questions in the chat box. So we will be reading out later and we will answer Okay, one by one. Okay, so before I start off, beside EA, we have few forms that the employer should know and must file. And I realized that a lot of employers, they miss this form. They thought this is not an important form to file. So IRB lately, they come up with the guidelines to public how to file all this form, yeah? So let us take a look, okay? That is CP22, CP22A, 22B, 21, and Form E, okay? These are the form that employers basically should file, okay? So is this familiar to you guys, all this form? If yes, give me a 555. Suddenly so quiet. That means no one familiar with this. Okay, no problem. Let us discuss it one by one. Okay, as an employer, you should know or at least understand what this form are for. Okay, like for CP22, you should file it when you hire a new staff. Okay, but a lot of people omitted this part. Okay, or 22A with the capital A is when the staff resign or death for private sector. Private sector is like Senyum Berhad, LLP, sole proprietorship and all that. So the government sector, we call it public sector. If you are working in public sector, you should file CP22B. But a lot of people neglected this death. When an employee passed away, besides sadness, you have to remember to file this 22A. So a lot of people just omit it. And then when IRB knock your door, then suddenly they realize, oh, 22A also need to, when the staff pass away, I also need to file 22A. So remember that, very important. Okay, CP21 is when a staff resign and leave country. So if they are not leaving country, so what form should you file? 22. But if they are leaving country, you should file 21 instead of 22, because 21 is basically to get tax clearance, right? Now, Form E. Form E is an annual filing to IRB. Then you will ask me, Sarah, just now you mentioned today's topic is EA form. So why EA form is not in the list? So yes, you are right. EA form is not in the list, you see. I never put EA form here, right? So EA form is not required to submit to IRB. Okay, am I clear? So only Form E required to submit. EA form is for you, the employer, to render to the employee. Okay, let's move on. Okay. This is the latest guideline by the IRB recently, that CP22, 22A or B or CP21, you have to file within 30 days. You can see all the common days is 30 days, right? But some is filed before, some is filed after. So you have to be very careful. CP22, you have to file within 30 days upon commencement of employment. Meaning that when you hire a staff, within 30 days, you have to file, I mean next month, in a month time, you need to file the CP22. What method you should use? Apparently sad to say the only method is by post or by hand. There is no online method available as at now. But whereas for CP22A or B, okay, same thing. When a staff resign, give you a notice of resignation, you should file not less than 30 days before the termination of employment. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, not later than 30 days. Of course, if a staff pass away, you cannot file before the staff pass away, right? It's always after the death certificates, 30 days, okay? But now I realize the death certificate issued by the government is also quite slow, yeah. So this will delay the filing as well, because you need to enclose the death certificate when you do filing. But this one, fortunate enough, now IRB have an online platform for us to file, which is eSPC. Okay, later I show you where to log in, this eSPC. So CP21, you have to file where, just now when I mentioned, before you leave the country, right? So 30 days before the expected date of departure, you should file this CP21. Okay, so also there is an online platform available for this filing CP21, which is eSPC. So this is a new platform. So previously it's all by hand. So this is the platform. So when you log into the IRB website, you will see this is the home page. Okay, over here is a My Tax, right? So you click on it, then you will come to this screen. So what ID you should use to log in this ESBC is the ID you use to log in into your e-filing. For the director is the IC number. IC number followed by your password. Then you will come to this screen. This screen, then over the left-hand panel, you can see this ESBC. Of course, you can also see your own e-filing status. 2019, whether filed or not, 2020, whether filed or not. So all this, you can also do the PCP calculator here. When you do your computation, you also can use this platform. Okay, am I clear up to this point of time? Any questions? I think the participant is slowly coming in. So for those who missed the front part, no problem. Always go back to our Seriously Play Facebook page to replay the video. Okay? So no issue so far. So good. Okay, I shall continue. Let's move on. Now, you may ask me, if I let's say I really miss it, what would happen to me? So that is a penalty, of course. The penalty, how much is the penalty? Is 200 to 20,000, or imprisonment for 6 months, or both. But usually IRB will not impose the imprisonment. They will want money rather than put you in jail. So not so worried. Okay. But then 200, is it? Ayya, Sarah, small amount of money, 200, I can afford to pay, no problem. But guess what? When they come for audit, they are not only charging you 200 per offense. If you're not filing for the past 10 years, and you got so many employers leaving and then joining, leaving, joining. So nowadays, you know, our turnover is also high, right? So what will happen? So this 200 is not 200 alone. You multiply by how many forms that you have missed. So is it a lot of money there? Yes. So please take note on this. Okay. Now today, as I say, we want to focus about EA form. So let's start. So everyone ready? So the serious stuff is going to start now. Okay. Right. Now. So we must know what is E and EA. There must be a difference between these two. E is basically for the employer to submit to the Inland Revenue. Okay, the employer here referring not only the company. This one also a lot of people misunderstand. They thought that, oh, employer means company Sdn Bhd only need to file for me, right? No. All the employer, including sole proprietorship, partnership, LLP, of course, Sdn Bhd need to file Form E. Is that clear? So sole proprietorship, please, okay, be reminded, you need to file Form E also. Okay. Now, if not, then there will be a penalty like what I mentioned just now. So then what about EA form? EA form not require filing, as I said just now, but you require to give it to your staff, your employees. So what is this EA form for? This EA form actually is for the employee to file their personal tax return. Okay, it will show in the EA form, it will show the employment income for the year. Okay, let's say if your employee is working in 2 companies during the year, then they will probably get 2 EA form. If they're working in 3 companies, then they will get 3 EA form. So when you file your Form BE, you have to accumulate, combine these EA forms to do your filing. Okay, is that clear so far? All right, let's move on. Now, a lot of people also miss this. Okay, whereby they thought EA form follow my year end, which is not right, because EA form is follow calendar basis, meaning calendar basis meaning what? Not following year end. Even though you set up a company, for example, in 1st of December, you set up a new company, 2021. 1st December 2021, you set up a new company. But then you thought that, oh, I have 18 months to file my financial statement, set my year end. So you set it, okay, this year, December 2022 as your financial year end, your first set of accounts. But then you miss out that, oh, EA form is actually, if I have a staff hire on that day, for example, you hire some, you set up a company 1st of December, you hire 31st December. You still required to prepare an EA form for the staff. And you still need to file your Form E. Am I clear? Okay, I repeat again. If you set up a company on 1st of December 2021, last year, okay, and then you hire a staff on 31st December 2021, you thought that no need to file because my financial year end will be in 31st December 2022 this year. So I should file next year, 2023. Sorry, you are wrong. You have to file your Form E, okay? You have to file your Form E because it's a calendar year. So long you set up your company without any business commencement, you still need to be required to file, but you file new return. But if you hire a staff 31st December, it's a 1 day salary here. So you still need to calculate the 1 day salary and then render the EA form and then report in your Form E. Okay, any issue so far? The Form E is based on employee who come or based on company financial year end, not financial year end. Form E is on calendar basis. That's why Form E, we don't have like for year of assessment. We never say Form E for the year. When we mention Form E, is always for the calendar year, not for year. You know the tax terms we use year of assessment, meaning your basis period. Your basis period follow your calendar, your financial year period. But this Form E is basically on calendar basis. All right. I'm not too sure. Some of it may know it, or some of it may don't know it. So now you know it's on calendar basis. So when is the due date? Okay, the due date is on 28th of February 2022. Wow, so soon. Yes, it's just around the corner next month. That's why I want to bring this webinar today. Is because I know next month is this EA form filing. Okay, I have a question here. But when we pay in January, but never state paying for December, so we can file it as January. Depends how you give the employment contract. If your employment contract to your staff is on 31st December, then rightfully you should file, we should give the EA form in December. If you like planning to give it this year, then your employment contract should move the day, maybe the December you treat 1 day as a wages, and then the salary start in January. Can we backdate the application? What application is we referring to? The application, the employment contract? What about temporary staff? Christina, I go in more on temporary staff later, yeah, when we take a look at the parts that in the Form EA. Right, so now just bear with me, Christina. So the due date is very soon on the 28th. But you may ask me, hey, Sarah, who knows? Even I don't give an EA form to the employees, nobody knows, right? You are absolutely right. Actually, nobody knows if you don't give your employees this EA form on time, unless the employee went into the IRB and report you. Because why the IRB put a deadline? Previously, there is no deadline to render the EA form. But a lot of people complaining because last minute the employer gives the EA form to the staff cannot file their BE. So that's why IRB received a lot of complaint from employees. So that's why they set a due date to 28. They bring forward to 28th of February. And February usually is our Chinese New Year festive season. So it's even more rushing. So employers, if you're the employers, please bear in mind, you have to get this ready by 28th of February in order to fulfill the requirements. Or if not, then you have to tell your employee, sorry, this year I can't make it on 28th February, but can you bear with me? I will give it in March. If the employees agree and they don't go and report you, then it's fine. It's totally fine because nobody is going to know when you give. But you have to pandai. When you give your EA form, there is a date there. You cannot put 31st March. Then you say to IRB, you give it on 28th February. Please. So mau curi makan pun tahu macam mana Am I clear? So when you want to give it in March, you no time to prepare, never mind, but take it, you know, on the last day of February, 28 or 27, up to you lah, okay? So I have a question here. If I'm a sole proprietorship, but I never take a regular salary, do I still need to file the Form E? Who is asking this question? Christina. Yes. As I mentioned just now, even you are the sole proprietorship, you did not take a regular salary, but sole proprietorship being the owner is not a staff, yeah? So you will not report your own salary in the Form E. This is only for employees, okay? But you still need to submit a new return, okay? IRB will not care whether you have employees or no employees. The important that they want you to submit, because they cannot assume that, oh, you know employee, that's why you don't submit. Maybe you forget how are they going to penalize you, right? So to be on the safe side, we don't want to take the risk, okay? And it's written in section 120, you know, if you don't give it, you will be penalized. The usual penalty will be 200 to 20,000, imprisonment for 6 months or both. But I don't have any stuff. Yeah, so you just submit new lah, all 0, 0, 0, all the way submit lah. You got what I mean? So because you don't have employee and you don't submit, I know a lot of people don't submit. And I think last year, my client just kena paying this 200. Okay, the IRB give him a love letter for not submitting this Form E. So this 200 you can buy us lunch already, Christina. So don't waste the money, okay? So please submit that. Am I clear up to this point of time? Any issues? No, so I shall continue. Now, just now as I mentioned, EA form, when the employee receives the EA form, it's their responsibility to file their own Form B or BE. It's not the employer responsibility. So you cannot force your employee to file the Form BE. So if they don't file their own returns, it's not your problem at all. But so long, you have to give them a correct EA form. If something wrong in the EA form and they use it and they file it wrongly, whose fault? Of course, it's the employer lah. Okay, the IRB will look for the employer. But if the employer do everything correctly, pass the EA form to the employee, and the employee does not file it, whose fault? The employee's fault. They will not come after the employer. Is that clear? Okay. Now, of course, since I'm touching on Form B and BE, this is a brief summary of what Form B and BE is for the benefit for those who don't know. Okay, Form B is actually for those who carry on business. So long as you have business income, you have to file Form B. Whether you have employment income or no employment income, you should file Form B. Whereas Form BE is strictly for those who having employment income. Of course, employee also can have property and can collect rental income. So if you have a rental income, you can still use your BE. Rental income is not considered a business income. Rental income is considered a passive income. So you should file BE, not B. Some people say, oh, I have rental income, I have interest income, I have all these things. So I should switch to file Form B. No. Okay. Remember, Form B is only for business income, not passive income, right? So like interest, you have interest, your dividend income, you have rental income, all this we consider non-business income, right? So when is the due date to file Form B? It's 30th June 2022. But if you're using e-filing, you got the grace period of 15 days. So you have an extended deadline to 15 July 2022, okay? So IRB actually encourage you to use their e-filing so that less work for them, okay? They don't need to punch in the figure again. So I also encourage you all to use the e-filing because e-filing, everything is computed automatically in the system. So this will avoid a lot of casting error and all that, right? So same goes to Form BE, but Form BE, you have to file in 30th April. So can you imagine if the employer give you a form because employer also need to file Form E, also about the same deadline. If they give you last minute, so you don't have time to file your BE. So that's why now the IRB push forward the deadline to 28th of February for EA form, right? So there is also a 15 days grace period using e-filing. So the extended deadline is 15 May 2022. So it's all good at this point of time. No questions? Okay, everyone good, right? We'll continue. Now, so now is the important part for today, EA form. Now, EA form, we have how many parts? 6 parts, A, B, C, D, E, F. Of course, I won't be going through all parts. The thing I need to focus is part B, the employment income, benefits and living accommodation also I will not go through because this is also a very big topic by itself. So if you have interest in benefit in kind or living accommodation, please register your interest or let us know by PM us or join any of our social media, let us know. You can join our LinkedIn, Facebook. We have recently launched our website. Also, you can actually PM us, Telegram. We have so many social media. You can choose and join, all right? Now, I will be focusing more on this part F. That is the perquisite, because a lot of people got confused. What is this perquisite kind of thing? That perquisite can be taxed, can be exempted. So I will spend more time on this part F later on. Okay? No. So what constitutes an employment income? If you talk about employment income, we have to look at Section 13. So a bit technical, I know. So Section 13 also got 5 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But today, I'm only concentrate on Section 13(1)(a), which is the monetary benefits. I'm not going to talk about benefit in kind or value of living accommodation, or refund from an approved fund or compensation for loss of employment. So if you do have any interest, like what I say just now, please let us know your interest so that we can arrange another webinar in the future. Okay, is that good? Okay, let's move on. Now, so Section 13(1)(a), okay, we have also 6 parts. Okay, Section 1A referring to Part B. Okay, listen, Section 13(1)(a) referring to Part B of your EA form. This is Part B of your EA form. So Part B of your EA form got 1A, B, C, D, E, F, which is this one that I listed here. Okay, so today I'll be focusing on those highlighted in red. Okay, the first one, I think I will not need to explain further lah. Okay, Christina, just now you asked me wages. What about wages? You can see wages is under here. So actually, to be very honest, a lot of people, they don't give the part-time EA form. Okay, because they thought that EA form is only for my employees. Okay, so part-timer is not working for me. So I should not treat them as my employee. But under the Inland Revenue perspective, even its wages, you need to give EA form. But a lot of people just ignore. Okay, so this is a practice in the market, and then IRB also does not really take serious into this matter. So I think it's okay for the time being. Until they're really desperate for money, then you need to be very careful. This leave pay is referring to the unutilized leave. You know, when a staff resign, you always have this unutilized leave not taken, then you need to pay back to the staff. So for whatever leave payback is under this 1A, you've got to record in here, right? So fee, commission, and bonus. Fee here referring to director's fees. And I also understand a lot of directors taking director fee without the company giving them the EA form. That is also not correct. So remember, director who taking director fees need to have EA form and need to report in their own BE or B. I'm not too sure whether they have other business. So if they have other business, then they should report BE. Sorry, Form B. So this director fees this fee refers to director fees. And whenever a director is being paid the director fees, you need to do two things. First, you need to report in a EA. Okay, you need to record it in your EA form. Second, you need to ask your COSEC, okay, your company secretary, to pass a resolution on how much director fees that a director is taken in a year. Is that clear? Okay, commission. Commission here refer to the commission you're paying to your staff, meaning your salesman, okay, whoever. But you also, maybe you also ask me, hey, how about I also pay commission to outsider, right? I also pay commission to outsider, my runner or whoever referring me the job. I also pay them commission. Am I supposed to give them an EA form? The answer is no. You're supposed to give them a form called CP58. I'm not too sure whether you all heard of this CP58 form. So, but today, this is not the topic. I'm just bringing it to you. If you have paid commission to outsider, you need to give them a CP58 if the amount more than 5,000. Even it's one time, amount more than 5,000, you should give them CP58. And when to give? I know EA form is 28 February, then CP58 by March, 31st March 2022, you should prepare and give, right? So if you want to know more about CP58, okay, as I say, if less than 5K, no need, okay? No need to give. 5K and above, you need to give. Even one time, even let's say I pay Yanting one time, one off for this job, 5,000 or 5,500. So I should prepare, I should give him a CP58. All right. Now, today, my topics is involving on this tips, perquisite, award, rewards, or other allowance, which is 1C here. So the rest I won't be going through. So let's look at what is perquisite. So far, so good, you guys. Very quiet. Let me drink some water. Very quiet. Is it all slept already or how? So at night, if you cannot sleep, you play back our seriously play video, then I'm sure you can fall asleep. Okay. So I'm sorry, guys. This is a very technical stuff, which I try my very best to explain. Okay, I don't know how much you can absorb, but never mind. So if you all really find that this is very technical, just what you need to do, go back to our Seriously Play Facebook page, and then because you jump from many topics, so cannot ask questions. Christina, you can always throw your question in the chat box. I will answer it from time to time, no worries, okay? So if you cannot understand, I understand this is a very technical topic. If you cannot understand for the first time, it's normal. Always go back to our Seriously Play Facebook page there, select today session, today live session, and then you can just replay it, all right? Now, so I'm about to go to a very serious topic today, which is called perquisites. Okay, perquisites is something that, very technical. Even you look at their the definition also itself, you will be afraid of already. So, perquisite, you can actually refer to the details on the public ruling. PR stands for public ruling in short. So this public ruling actually issued in 2019. So perquisite is any benefit in cash or in kind. In kind here means it can be an item that must have a money worth. That means must have a value attached to it, that you can sell it, you can assign it, you can transfer or convert it into cash. Okay, so if the employee or you give the employee a benefit, either in kind or in cash, okay, that the employee received this because of exercising an employment with you, or the employee received from third party in respect of exercising an employment, also you need to report in the EA form. Ang pao, I'm going to go in a short while. Ang pao. How about if item for rate packet can be put at 1C? Yes, I'm going to answer this question very soon, right? Now, just now, I'm also talk about third party. So you were wondering, who third party is this? Okay, I'm going to illustrate in this example. Yeah. So let's say a waiter who has received tips from customer would be taxed because he received from a third party. Customer is a third party. Customer is not his employee. You're right. So he received from a third party. But why he received these tips? Because in his capacity of exercising employment. So you need to put this in this. If you look at it, tips here under 1C. Okay. But you will say, hey, how do I know how much tips that he received? So the employer would not know, right? So the employee, if the employee is honest enough, or if he knows the law, he's supposed to disclose in the BE. But nobody record. Yeah, it's true. These tips actually is very difficult to catch you. Actually, if you don't report it, nobody will know. But in the law, it stays so. You have to report it, right? Now come to Ambao shortly. Just bear with me. Now, these are the samples. I just bring a few examples to illustrate so that you can understand better. So these are those examples that will illustrate better on perquisite. PRS, I'm not too sure you all know about PRS or not. PRS is private retirement scheme paid by company for directors, but under the director name. Okay, that means company pay on behalf, not to say pay on behalf, is like a benefit to them. Okay, for example, Shin is the director of CSC Play, for example. So she came and approached me, hey, Sarah, can I use the company money to pay for my PRS? The answer is yes. So when the company pay this PRS to the directors, they need to disclose it, the amount of PRS paid into the 1C there just now. Remember? Here, 1C, under perquisites. Okay? But then Shin say, oh, then I will be taxed. Yes, you will be taxed on this PRS because it's one of your benefits. But then we also can claim, if you all know that PRS, we can claim 3,000. That in recent budget 222, if for those who attended my last webinar, then last webinar I talked about company. Yeah, I didn't talk about personal. So, but in fact, in budget 222, PRS relief extended to YA 2025. But what happened after 2025? I'm not too sure whether they will be further extended. So you have to now make a planning or start discussing with your company whether we can change this PRS after 2025 to another form. If not, the director have to be taxed under this perquisite thing. So then you ask me, what other form can we change? You can change it to like taking more dividend, because dividend is always tax-free at the moment. So change it to dividend instead of paying for PRS. It's just another form switching. Any issue so far? Okay, I can understand. If not, but you still got a few more years to play for this PRS. So not to say you have to switch it now, but then by 2025, if the budget did not extend this further, then you should think of changing the method of paying the director. Now, of course, free share given to employees, ESOS, is also one of the perquisite, but this perquisite need to be disclosed not under 1C, but in 1E, Employee Share Option Scheme. For those public listed company, they usually give this ESOS to the staff. So you need to disclose it here. Okay, so far so good. Now, watch. Watch given to an employee for long service. For example, I'm giving Yanting, okay, a watch worth 5,000, okay, for long service. This long service, how long is considered long? At least 10 years, okay, long service award. So Yanting will be taxed for this 5,000, but you've got an exemption of 2,000. So meaning, whatever tax you have to report into perquisite here, 1C. So meaning the 5,000, 3,000 will be under perquisite. And then what happened to the 2,000 exemption? The 2,000 exemption is in sorry, going too fast. Is in this part F, exempt perquisites. Okay. Okay, coming back to ang pao now. So ang pao, yeah, I know Chinese New Year is coming. Usually, employer will prepare this ang pao packet. Sorry, can repeat this again? Which part? Christina, which part you want me to repeat? Watch. Oh, watch. Okay. So I'm saying that I'm giving Yan Ting a watch worth 5,000. Okay. But then I cannot tax him 5,000 for all the 5,000 because 2,000 is exemption. So meaning that I need to report in this 1C perquisite only 3,000 he being taxed. The 2,000 I report under F, that exemption. Here, I'm not I have not go to F yet, so I'll be going to section part F later on. Give ang pao have limit amount. Watch as gift. Yes. Depending. Okay, depending this watch you are giving for purpose. The purpose is very important here. If let's say Yan Ting birthday, okay, his birthday is coming soon. I buy him a watch and then I give it to him for his birthday present. Is this considered perquisite or not? What do you think? Can I have the answer from the ground? Now I changed the question a bit. Since Christina is so interested of the watch thing, let's ask more questions. Why is there a 2K exempted? Not from employer. No, I'm Yan Ting boss. For example, okay, I give him a watch, 5,000 also. But this round, I'm not giving him because of long service. He just told me not long ago. But because he helped me a lot in the webinar, you know, and then I decided, as a token of appreciation, I decided to buy him a watch and then I give it to him. So will this constitute a perquisite or not? Yes. Okay, Christina say yes. How about others? Everybody say yes. The answer is no. The answer is no. Why? That's why this taxing you have to be very careful. No? Why is no? Firstly, I give Yan Ting, is it because of his super performance? No. I buy him because of his birthday. Right? I buy this watch to him because of birthday. So if because of birthday, nothing got to do with the employment related performance. So rightfully, I should not treat this as a perquisite. Unless I tell him, okay, since you have been working with me for 10 years, but you say you bought the watch because he is hardworking. No lah, meanings I have to phrase like this. I buy him a watch for his birthday, right? So because of his birthday, I buy this watch, but also because of I appreciate his hard work. So I buy him this watch worth 5,000. But in actual fact, it's because the occasion is his birthday. So I buy him the watch. So you have to argue like this. When the IRB asks you why this one is not perquisite, you understand? So don't put up and tell the IRB so strict, oh, I buy him because, you know, he's hardworking. But because if his birthday, I give, if you want proof, you give it to him on his birthday day. Then you take a photo, okay, with a cake in front. How to make it claimable then? Claimable, because it's claimable on the employer side. Because it's, how to say, anything is my employee, make sure it's for employee staff welfare. So I buy him this watch. Then everything we say that is for birthday. Depends how you argue law. If the purpose lah, I'm telling you lah, this could be long service, whatever related to employment, then you need to give put it under perquisite. Okay. So perquisite, we have 2,000 exemption for long service award. So meanings, I repeat again, just now the 3,000, 5,000, 3,000 you need to disclose in 1C, and then the 2,000 exemption in part F, which I'm going to explain soon. Okay. So I don't want to drill in this watch thing lah. I want to go to the ang pao lah. So ang pao, during Chinese New Year, you give to the employees, right, in a red packet form. So when you distribute this red packet, ang pao, depends on the amount. If let's say it's $20, $10, $50, usually the employer will not want to disclose in the employee EA form. But by right, ang pao is a form of perquisite and is supposed to be disclosed under 1C, perquisite here. But because the amount is too small, the employer sometimes also don't bother lah, to disclose it in the EA form. But rightfully they have to. But they went and claim, sometimes they went and claim a deduction because this ang pao will be captured under their P&L as expenses, right? Ang pao. So this ang pao, by right, you shouldn't claim deduction if you didn't report it in the EA. But most of the employer, they claim it lah. So it depends on when the IRB do this audit, whether they want to see this kind of small amount or not. But now, because the economy is bad, a lot of employer, they change the ang pao to substitute the bonus. You get what I mean? That means instead of giving you 1 month, 2 months bonus, they give you about 2,000 ang pao. For example, your salary is supposed to be 3,000, but they think that I give you half month bonus is like very pai kwa. Okay, so I want to decided to change it to ang pao form. So I give it to 2,000 ang pao. So this 2,000 consider very material, yeah. So meaning that rightfully you should disclose it under perquisite here. If you didn't disclose it, then in your own company tax computation, you should add back this ang pao lah, not to claim. No? What if employer want to claim the expenses, but as an individual, we don't want to declare CAT for the watch? Because it's stated in your EA form, you have to disclose it in your, because it's reported, the employer reported in your EA form, by right, you should use your EA form to report your PE. So no choice, if the employer already put it there, then you have to follow the EA form. No? Okay. I hope I'm clear until this point of time. So I'm running out of time, I'm so sorry. Employer paying a utilities bill for the employees, this is also common for some of the executives, the C-level, the CEO or COO. The company usually pay the utility bill. So the amount that the company pay will be reported in the 1C there. Income tax paid by employer, this is also very common for those expatriate joining a company. The income tax usually made by the employer, but this is not today's topic lah. But I just want to let you know this too is also perquisite. Okay, so come to a very important part now. Is the right perquisite. Now perquisite, why is it confused? Is because perquisite, some of it is exempted from tax, some of it is tax, and then exempted from tax. Some IRB want you to disclose in section F, some no need to disclose. No problem, Jean, you can leave. You can always watch our this video again in the Facebook page. Right? So, can you understand me so far? Okay, perquisite is a very big topic by itself. Why? Because IRB want to collect some data, so they want you to report those exempt one. That means tax-free in this column called F. The last column, I usually see this 0 lah. Nobody report it, 0, 1. But actually, you have to report some figure if you have perquisite, which is tax exempted, you need to report here. Okay. Now then we want to look at what is the examples that what we need to disclose in section F. Dividend. Dividend is not under here. Dividend is never appearing because dividend always for shareholder, okay, not for employees. Okay, Krishna, remember today's topic is for employees, yeah. Employer prepare EA form is for employees, not for shareholders. So dividend never appear in the EA form. Am I clear? Okay, now these are those examples that you should, if you have, if you give it to your staff, a petrol allowance, traveling allowance, or toll, whatever, for official duties, you have to report in your section F. But of course, you have the exemption of 6,000 per year. 6,000 per year means about 500 per month. Okay, if let's say the employer is paying you 8,000 a year, meaning 6,000, you have to report in where? 6,000 will be here, F. Okay, then the remaining 1C. Okay, 1C. Still remember 1C? I'm not talking about the section 13 1C. I'm talking about B1C, perquisites. Okay. Now, so this traveling allowance, petrol allowance, I guess a lot of people will have received this for their official duties. But the problem is always how he going to prove whether this is for official duties or for our personal usage. Okay, sometimes we go and pump petrol. This car I also use to work. I also use for shopping. I also use for, you know, having drink with my friends. So how this petrol is going to allocate? How much is for official duty? How much is for, you know, my personal usage? So it's quite tough. It's quite tough. But then allowance meanings, I don't care, it's not on a reimbursement basis. So it's good to give an allowance. You get what I mean or not? If you, let's say you have two methods of paying. First, petrol allowance means I'm giving you a fixed allowance of 500. I don't care how you use it. This is your entitlement 500. Or whenever you pump petrol, it's for official duty, you take the bill, you claim. So got both methods you can use. But the assumption given is 6,000. Okay. So the one who claim a lot of work lah, you need to submit to your HR, your education to check whether this is for official duty, and very hard to prove lah. That's why sometimes I will say easier if we give it as allowance basis. Okay, so this childcare allowance for children up to 12 years old only. If the employer is so good, give your children up to 13 years, 14 years, Form 1, Form 2, Form 5 and all that, then I think you cannot enjoy this exemption. You have to be taxed under perquisite. But usually the employer will give for the kids only lah. Okay, you know, this is childcare. Okay, childcare. So 2,004 per year. Okay. Gift of mobile phone, tablets, all this is limited to 1 unit for each category. So if a company buy you a mobile phone, let's say for example, I buy Yanting an iPhone, okay? So this iPhone will be exempted. But exempted doesn't mean that your section F is 0. You still have to put your iPhone amount in here. How much as a gift, okay? So inland revenue, we will not want to know whether it's in the name of employer or whether it's in employee. It's equally fine. What does it mean? Meaning that Yanting can go and buy on his own using his own money first, and then come back and claim from me. Or the company can use the company money, company name, go and buy the handphone, give it to him. It's totally fine. Okay. Now, monthly bills for mobile phone or subscription of broadband. Registered, the same goes. Whether registered is the employee or the employer is still fine, but limited to one category. Broadband, some of the, you can have money handphone bill and then subscription of broadband, 2 bills. Okay, also fine. Limited to one category only. So this one is like also the same thing like what I said just now. You can be like on reimbursement basis. Okay, meaning that the monthly bill could be registered under the employee name. The employee take the bill and then get reimbursement from the employer. Okay, is it too technical? Sorry, guys. I hope I explain you all understand. Okay, now no problem. So good, Christina. Right. Okay, so I can continue. Past achievement award, just now I already mentioned for long service. So more than 10 years for employee who has worked with the company for more than 10 years, you've got 2,000 exemption. Okay, parking allowance or parking fee paid by the employee to parking operator. This one also you need to disclose for the amount, actual amount expended. This all is exempt, meaning no need to be taxed on the employee, but need to be disclosed in section F. Get me? So the actual amount that you pay for the parking, you need to disclose in section F. All right, meal allowance. Meal allowance is the same thing, but meal allowance, if possible, please do it or please record it in your staff manual so that when IRB come for audit, you can show to them what this meal allowance is, what rate is given to which category of employees. Okay, so this meal allowance is usually given because of staff working overtime or because they went overseas for business trip or outstation. Okay, now subsidized interest for housing, education or car loan. This one fully exempted if the amount is below 300,000. If above, then you need to prorate lah. Now employer paid for employee PT/PTN loan is the actual amount expended also. So PT/PTN loan is the study loan, if you know. Some of the staff, when they study, they take this PT/PTN loan. Then when they join the employer is so kind to pay off this PTN loan for them. So this is exempted so far up to 2021. That means this year, last year only. So what happened to 2022? 2022 will become a perquisite that will be reported under the Part B1C just now. Okay, so 9 items you need to disclose if you have. If you don't have, meaning your section F is 0. If you have to disclose in section F. Okay, so that is a bad news for you guys. So for those directors, okay, directors is also employees of the company. For those directors having control more than 51%, no share in the company, they can make decision and all that. The company or the sole proprietor or the partners of the partnership or LLP, you cannot enjoy the exemption as I mentioned just now. Here, all this, you cannot enjoy. Even the company pay you petrol allowance, buy a handphone for you, pay a money mobile phone for you, so money bill for your mobile phone, you cannot put it under F, meaning you have to be taxed under 1C just now, here. So you don't enjoy it. So a lot of companies director, they didn't know that. They treat it as an exemption, so which is wrong. Okay, which is wrong. Okay, so now we take a look at these examples. Okay, so sorry, technical. So one slide is missing, or the balik already, sorry. Okay, so Mr. A being a marketing manager of Siri Jati, have been paid 8,000 petrol allowance for his official duty. So in year 2021, he actually incurred 7,500 for this petrol. So what do you think? How much will be exempted and how much he should declare in his form? Any idea? Any answer? Christina, maybe sometimes you cannot follow, it's quite normal. This topic is really technical. So it's okay. If you have any questions after this, can you please PM us? We will try to help you on from there. Okay. 7,005. So how much is exempted? Is all 7,005 exempted? Yes, 6,000. Good, huh? Meaning that you understand what I'm saying just now. So 6,000. 6,000 is exempted. So exempted, you need to disclose where? F. So you will, in your form EA, you will have this 6,000 in your section F here, there. And then 2,000 will be under 1C because total is 8,000, right? But what happened that he actually incurred 7,005. So 7,005, 6,000 is already exempted. So remaining 1,005, if he can prove this amount 1,005 is for his official duties, then he can deduct because he will be taxed 2,000 ma. So if he can prove this all is for, he got all the receipts lah, okay, you need to keep, then you can knock off. That means 500 only you'll be taxed. All right. Okay. So another examples. So if Mr. B receive a fixed allowance of 300 per month for the mobile phone, meaning 300 times 12, 3,006 a year lah. Where do you think this 3,006 will appear in his EA and will he be taxed? So what is the answer? Under F, sure. 1C. So we have two answers here. One say under F, Miss Tan say under B1C. So which one is correct? So Miss Tan is correct, under B1C. Why is it so? Because just now, as I mentioned, this is a fixed allowance. Fixed allowance is, you see, okay, maybe, okay, I need to jump to this slide. Allowance is something that it will benefit the staff and it straight go to the employee pocket. Okay, meaning that you will not need to prove, okay, what is the bill that you incur and all that. So straight away you will be taxed as a requisite. Whereas on reimbursement basis, okay, whenever you claim, the expenses transferred from the employee to the employer. So this reimbursement become the employer cost. Okay, therefore, if you on reimbursement basis, you can get the handphone, just now the exemption. This one. So money bill. But if you don't want the hassle of submitting the claim, the bills, and then segregate out what is the business use for business usage and what is for your personal usage, you want to save all this hassle, then must well you use the allowance. But you need to be taxed lah. Then the employee, if they want to claim, they need to do extra step by having proof to say that all the mobile phone, they have to segregate out what is which one for company, which one for the personal. So a lot of work to do lah whenever you want to claim from the IRB. So is that clear? So Ms. Tan, you are correct. Okay, 3,006 will be disclosed under 1C. Clear? Okay, so what no need to disclose? Just now we have been mentioning 9 items. We all need to disclose, but this one is also exempt from tax, but no need to disclose. Okay, these are the following items. Okay, like for example, the employee gave his company product to the employee free of charge. Okay, or the employee buy the product at a discounted price. So only restricted to 1,000. More than that, you need to be taxed. So this one is exempted, so no need to disclose. No need to disclose means no need to do anything lah. Okay, or service for product, you got restriction. For service, no restriction. If, for example, I'm operating a barber shop, so I do a free haircut for Yanting, and then so that haircut is provided free to Yanting, but I don't need to disclose, and no tax and no restriction on the amount. Okay, insurance premium for foreigner as a replacement to SOCSO. Okay, medical benefit including the total, what do you call it, TCM, the Chinese medicine, the Sinsei benefits. So this one also included here. Leave passage, 3 times local trip, 1 time overseas trip. So this one, I think I mentioned it in my last webinar already. So this one, if you have, you no need to do anything. Now, what is the difference between perquisite and benefit in kind? So perquisite, like what I said just now, is something, benefits that you receive that convertible into the money form. BIK, on the other hand, cannot be converted to money. So, and the charging section is also different. One under 1A, one under 1B. But today, I'm not going to talk about BIK lah. Okay, if you have any interest on BIK, then feel free to register your interest with us. So then why is it important to distinguish between perquisite and BIK? Because of the charging section is different. If your 1A is wrong, it also affect your calculation when you do your value of accommodation, which is under 1C. So that's why you have to make sure your 1A is correct. Now, just now, I think I have briefly go through already. So if I buy a wedding gift or birthday gift given to a staff, it's not a taxable perquisite. Why is it so? Because the staff, the pure gift received by an employee from the employer is purely for personal appreciation or for specific personal reason. So which are not taxable. Okay, so if you don't have a format of this EA form, you can always download from the IRB website, or if you're using your payroll system, then you can generate straight from the payroll system. Okay, so come to the end of our sessions. So I would just want to recap what we have learned for today. So those common mistakes, I hope you will not make it, repeat it. Okay, first is employer always think that if no employee, no need to submit. Form E is wrong. You still required to submit, but you submit a new return. So because why? Dormant companies which have not commenced business are required to furnish form with effective, Form E effective 2014. Previously no need, but since 2014, you required to submit. So companies are mandatory to submit Form E via e-filing. So if you are Sdn Bhd, you got no choice. The Form E need to be sent via e-filing from 2016 onwards. Other than company, for example, Sopro, LLP and all that, you still have choice to submit it manually or e-filing. Okay, now, as I mentioned just now, bear in mind, EA and Form E is on an annual basis, so and not following financial year end. I think this one is pretty clear by now. Employee who has control over the company, so proprietorship and partnership, cannot claim the exemption or for the perquisite disclosed under Section F of the EA form. Okay, finally, it's come to the last slide. If I understand the information could be too overwhelmed already. So never mind, we will provide you a free 30 minutes consultation session. So you can make appointment with us, just call us or WhatsApp us, or this is a QR code you can scan and make appointment with us. So we can discuss whichever area that you are not so sure. Okay, so this is our diagram and our website that newly launched. So thank you so much for staying with me. I know it's a very suffering session. Thank you so much for your time, and happy Chinese New Year if I don't see you in February again. Thank you so much. I pass back the mic to Yanting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christina and Miss Tan. So yeah, as mentioned by Sarah, if you have any burning questions or doubt, just WhatsApp her personally, and also do follow our page. Sarah, can you put the next slide? Yeah, So do follow us on our LinkedIn as well as our Telegram for more updated information. Yeah. So thank you so much.
We still have time. What is the timer? Okay lah, not so bad lah. Overrun about 15 minutes. Hot. Yes. So any questions? Any questions from the ground? Christina, do you still have any questions? So maybe we can spend some time to address your questions. Suddenly no questions. Oh, I hope I really clear some doubt instead of giving more confusion. So if no question, then we should end the session for today.
Yeah, sure. Why not we take a photo before leaving? Yeah.